Ladies and gents, 2024 has been such an amazing year for your boy. And now, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wisest Champion is here again to break EXODIAs. Ladies and gents, we got brand new EXODIA support back in Infinite Forbidden this summer that just passed. And these cards are amazing, high quality cards for Grandpa's deck. But now, with the release of Rage of the Abyss, we got one card that changed this deck forever. We got the brand new Heart of the Blue Eyes. You guys see Heart of the Blue Eyes? Absolutely amazing card. Just essentially 3 more copies of Millennium Ink in your deck right here. And it just makes this deck a bit more consistent. And the reason why this deck is so powerful is because it ignores 2 of the most dominating cards in the entire format. Mocharmy Fuvalos and Mocharmy Perulia. This deck does not give a flying crap about these 2 cards. And the fact that this deck thrives on playing 1-card combos, aka activate Millennium Ink, summon EXODIA, and win the duel. This deck doesn't care about those 2 cards, and most importantly, this deck can also main deck Dimensional Shifter. And in today's video, I'm going to showcase you guys the card-by-card profile, and most importantly, some bread and butter combos that you guys must know when it comes to playing this deck right here. And guys, catch me playing this deck at locals 100,000%. It's time to break Grandpa's new EXODIA deck featuring the brand new Millennium Blue Eyes. Without further ado, Val, roll the intro! I'm gonna showcase you guys the engine requirement that you guys must play when it comes to playing this deck right here, and then we'll go on with some non-engines you guys can consider playing when it comes to utilizing the brand new EXODIA cards that came out of the brand new Rage of the Abyss. Start of the monster real quick. I'm gonna play, of course, the head of EXODIA, the most important piece, right arm, left leg, right leg, and of course the left arm of the forbidden one. Obviously, these are just engine requirements you guys must play. These cards are bricks in your opening hand, unfortunately, but with Millennium Ankh, you can also reveal from your hand as well. As long as these cards don't touch the grave, it's fine. But Exodo Blaze is really amazing because you can also recycle these cards from your grave or banish them back into the deck, which is absolutely amazing. So you can resolve Millennium Ankh, which is really nice. Is it Ankh or Ankh? Ankh is it Millennium? Well, OCG called it Millennium Cross, but now it came back and they called it Millennium Ankh. I'm gonna say Ankh, right? A-N-K-H. Ankh or Ankh? Let me know in the comments. But obviously, these are just engine requirements you guys must play. The 5 pieces, no 6 piece this time, you know what I'm saying? Next off, of course, one of the most broken cards that ever came out for this deck out of Rage of the Abyss is Heart of the Blue Eyes. This card is actually insane. So if you guys don't know what Heart of the Blue Eyes does, let me explain to you guys, okay? It's a level 8 light dragon effect monster with its stats 3000 attack and 2500 defense. And this card's first line of text reads, this card is always treated as a Millennium card. All right, so you can search this card directly from your deck to your hand of Sync Engine, which is actually really nice. Control of this card cannot be switched. You can discard this card, add 1 Millennium Ankh directly from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Heart of the Blue Eyes once per turn, so it searches the Millennium Cross directly from your deck to your hand, which is really strong. And the secondary effect is really important, okay? If this card is in your graveyard and you successfully activated Millennium Ankh this duel, and your opponent normal special summons a monster that is level 8 or higher or has 3000 or more attack, you can send that monster to the graveyard. And if you do special summon this card, you can only use this effect of Heart of the Blue Eyes once per duel. So not only does this card search Millennium Cross or Millennium Ankh directly from your deck to your hand, but this card is also an interruption. All right, so basically, what are decks that summon level 8 or higher monsters? So obviously Fiendsmith, Desare, it's level 8 monster, which, you know, if they summon it, you can use Heart of the Blue Eyes to non-target send that card directly to the graveyard. What else is level 8 or higher? Sacred Fire King Garunix. What is it called? It can also beat out interruption with cards like Varudris, which is 3000 or more attack. This deck is obviously Grandpa's deck, right? And the fact that the first time this card says control of this card cannot be switched is insane, because Konami's following the lore with Grandpa's Blue Eyes. You guys remember the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh? Kaiba comes in and demands you know, Grandpa's Blue Eyes. He's trying to buy, he's trying to trade for it, but obviously he ends up beating Grandpa in the duel, and he rips the 4th Blue Eyes, which is part of the Blue Eyes right here. So basically, they made it that you can't steal this Blue Eyes. That's why it says control this card cannot be switched, which is actually pretty interesting. You guys see what Konami is doing, right? So this is literally Grandpa's 4th Blue Eyes is what they're trying to make this card as. So Heart of Blue Eyes, amazing. Just additional copies of Millennium Ankh in the deck right here, and obviously with 3 copies Heart of the Blue Eyes, 3 copies of Millennium Shield, and 3 copies of Millennium Ankh, you basically have 9 copies of Millennium Ankh in your deck right here, and they cannot interact with you, right? They have to ash this card right here, but if they ash Heart of the Blue Eyes and you don't even have Sengenjin, you can also Sengenjin, get shield, get Ank, and then it's pretty much just game over from there, right? Which is actually pretty good. So like the reason why this deck is just so powerful is that Chummies don't act really well with these decks. Mochami Perulia, Mochami Fuveros, they don't act like well into this matchup, and this deck can also play crazy non-engines, which I'll explain once I progress through the video even further. But yeah, Heart of Blue Eyes just makes the deck more consistent to search your Millennium Cross or Millennium Ink directly from deck to your hand. Obviously, you're playing 3 shields. These cards are amazing, and the reason why, like, for example, here you guys play, 3 shields right here. I'll show you guys 3 shields. You're playing 3 Sengenjin right here. These are just all engine requirements. 2 Golem right here. These cards are insane because Sengenjin, they don't summon themselves from the deck or the hand, so the Perulia cards don't work at all against this deck, because these cards, like, they activate in hand to place in the spawn trap card zone, and then they summon from the spawn trap card zone. So like, yo, like, Chummies, Perulia, and Fuverlos doesn't do jack all against this deck, which is why this deck is actually really good into the meta call right now. And guys, this deck is actually super duper powerful, and it actually topped the recent YCS Nagra. And a huge shout outs to Oliver Oliveira, right? I believe that's his name, top 32 YCS Nagra with this deck right here. And it just shows that, this deck can actually compete against the meta game, especially the fact that everybody's just so scared of Fuverlos and also scared of, Mocharmi Perulia. This deck just doesn't care about that at all. And obviously, if they Fuvelos you, they're only going to draw 1 card, so they break even anyways, because you have to summon EXODIA. But other than that, like, those cards suck against that, because this deck doesn't summon from the hand, doesn't summon from the deck, it just summons from the spawn trap card zone, right? And there's not really like a lot of interactions that they can do to stop the Millennium Ankh. If you already have Millennium Ankh in hand or Ankh in hand, you can just like try to bait out the Ash by just go like Sengenjin, get shield, and then see if they Ash the shield. They have to either Ash the shield or the Heart of the Blue Eyes. Like, a good player will never Ash this because they want to Ash the shield, right? You know what I'm saying? Because other than Ash, there's nothing else that interacts like with this deck. No hand traps that act really well. I think Veiler is good, I guess. But if you Veiler the EXODIA, I guess just Ash and Veiler. But he can't imperm the EXODIA, which is actually really nice. So these cards are just great. This searches any of your Millennium cards. This searches Millennium Ankh. And this also searches the Wedju Temple, which searches any of these guys right here and places them in the spawn trap card zone, which is actually really, really nice. And the reason why these cards are so powerful is because once Sengenjin is immediately 3 bodies on board, which is actually great at actually helping break your opponent's boards. Like, this goes into this goes into this. That's 3 bodies. You make Moon, Goddess, try to bait out everything before you can activate your Millennium Ankh, and then you just win the duel from there on in, right? Which is why this deck is actually so powerful, is because this card is it's 1 card here. It's like 3 bodies on the field, which is really nice. So these are just like engine requirements that you guys must play. Also, 3 copies of the best card in your deck is Millennium Ankh. This card is so powerful. It's so good. Like, you can't Ash this, you know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing they can Ash is Heart of the Blue Eyes and Millennium Shield, and pray to God that they Ash, your Heart of the Blue Eyes or Millennium Shield. Like, pray to God that they better pray to God that you don't have this in your opening hand already, right? So Millennium Ankh is just absolutely insane, just so powerful, really good. Next off, engine requirements, Obliterate, and also 2 copies of Exod Fires of Rage. I decided to actually cut the Obliterate for Fires of Rage. I think Fire Rage is a bit better, especially in the Runic matchup. If they banish one of your Exodia pieces, you actually cannot resolve your Ankh. So if you can actually have this in the grave, like, usually if you go first, you're obviously going to summon Exodia anyways, which is really strong. But but the following turn, if they can banish your pieces, you can't resolve Millennium Ankh again. So this being able to banish yourself from the graveyard to just shuffle back your Exodia pieces from your banishment or graveyard into the deck is just absolutely insane. And this card is one of the best board wipes in the game, which is also searchable in this deck, because Exodia sets this card during the end phase, which is really strong. Great, like Regeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, built in 1, which is really, really nice. And Obliterate Blaze for OTKs, and also built-in Heavy Storm for the deck, which is really strong. So these are just engine requirements you guys must play. You guys can also play Obliterate if you guys want to, but I feel like after watching YCS top 32 Oliveira, he topped with this deck. He definitely made sense on why playing 2 is just really important. Just like really good at kind of like insurance policy. I feel like the second copy is just way better than Obliterate. in my personal opinion. But you guys can just juggle between the second rage or obliterate if you guys want to, but I feel like having 2 is enough. And if you draw 1 and they affect Viller, your incarnate, it's fine because you can just, you know, board wipe your opponent, right? And if you draw like 1 or the other, you can just set the other ones off of your end phase and off your opponent's end phase. So if you draw this, you set Fire's Rage, and when it comes back to your opponent's end phase, you set another Fire's Rage, just clear the board, so that way that you can blaze them as well, right? So like, it just has a lot of universal purposes in the deck. Why I feel like 2 is just a bit better. If you just draw 1, you can set Blaze, and then on your opponent's end phase, you set the other ones, just clear their board again when it comes back to your turn, which is really strong. So engine requirement, and the last engine requirement I feel like is needed is Pot of Prosperity. It's just like digs deep into your deck for your combos. This card is also really good because not only does it dig off into your starters, but it also digs off into your non-engine, which I'm gonna showcase you guys right now. So Prosperity is just really important for that. All right, guys. The reason why this deck is so powerful is because he can play Shifter. Like, holy smokes, bro. Like, Shifter is just so gas. Like, this is why 10 play is good, because they can play Shifter. This deck can play Shifter, and it doesn't care about Perulia. It doesn't care about Fulos. Like this non-engine is just so strong. Like, D-Shifter is just really amazing. And it's one of those decks that can take advantage of it. So, yeah, like, this deck is better than Thunder. Like, holy smokes. Like, next is Triple Ash Blossom. These cards can play under Shifter, which is actually really nice as well. So, Ash is just really powerful. Next, you're also playing Infinite Impermanence, is also really nice. It's just kind of like just the hand traps that I'm playing for the deck, that is the hand traps that I decided to go for. It's still very much similar to my last previous list, so these cards are just really, really great for non-engine. You know, for more non-engine, you guys can either substitute this for hand traps, but this deck is just so good going first. Like, Secret Village is insane. This card is like, you know, against, you know, like Azabina cards, like Secret Village is really strong. Terraforming, set rotation. These cards just more copies Secret Village. There can be only one. I still like this card, still love this card. And Angel Statue Azarune, because you get to make it off Rabbit, and Rabbit is essentially just free Azarune, right? Which is actually really, really strong. So Azarune, really great right here. You make Rabbit, shuffle back the Rabbit with, of course, the Ankh, and then you just have a free addition on the gate on the field, which is really nice. So these cards are great, and this is why Prosperity is just so powerful, is because there's just more copies of these guys in the deck. If you already open up Engine, Prosperity digs your deck for these guys right here, which is why Prosperity is just really, really strong in my personal opinion. So these cards are just great, and Secret Village is just so powerful, right? So yeah, it just has dual purposes. Digs to your deck for combo, and also digs to your deck for your non-engine, right? Which is really nice. So I'm playing a straight 40. You guys go ahead and play more than 40 if you guys would like, but I just like the 40 flat number with this deck. I think it's just really, really awesome. So yeah, remember guys, Budget Tempo is also a spell, a field spell, so you can also set rotation and also terraforming the Wedju as well. You know, it just has a lot of dual purposes in the deck to get access to your starter and also get to access into your floodgates. All right, guys, off to the extra deck real quick. You want to play, of course, 3 copies of the Unstoppable Exodia. This card is absolutely insane. This card is just so good. Like, I love this card. This card is amazing. You know, you reveal 5 Exodia pieces, you know, from your hand, field, or deck, and then you summon this card. Cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects, which is really strong. So Regeki and Lightning Storms don't touch this card. And once per turn, if this card battles during damage calculation, you can make this card gains attack equal to your life points. And this effect doesn't last until the end of the turn, so it stacks. So if you like, you know, if you have 8,000 life points, it's 8,000. And when it comes back to your turn, it just, you lose 1,000 during your turn, but it just gains like 7,000, for example. Like, this card is just so insane to have OTKs, and with you know, Obliterate, it's just so much better. And quick effect, you can just negate small trap card once per turn, which is amazing. And it's also not a hard once per turn. So if you have multiple copies of Exodia Incarnate, you can negate multiple spawn trap cards per turn, which is really nice. And once per turn during the end phase, you can set 1 Exod or Obliterate spawn trap directly from your deck, which is really nice. So it sets the trap or the spell. And then during your standby phase, you just pay 1,000 life points, which is actually, it's not that bad. Like, when it comes back to your turn, you're just going to kill your opponent anyways. So these cards are just like really, really strong. You need to play 3 copies of this card in your deck because you can control multiples, which is really nice. Also, Spellcaster 4, Secret Village is really nice. You play Dark, Selene, Access Code, just like a bunch of great removal cards right here, which is really nice. Nightmare Cerberus, IP Masquerena, Nightmare Unicorn right here. These cards are just really good. Nightmare Phoenix, Silhouette Rabbit right here for the combo. You know, like, remember, one Sing Engine is 3 bodies, which is really nice. SP Low Knight for removal as well. Moon of the Closed Heavens is just also really nice. Going second, you go into Moon, activate its effect to bait out your opponent's cards, and then you use Moon to link off into your, of course, your Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. This card is just so strong. A really, really powerful card right here. And it's one Sing Engine is 3 bodies, right? So one Sing Engine gets you access to Moon. Moon will clear their board. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to clear the Caesar, right? If you're playing against Ubel, You just moon, you know, clear their Caesar, make Goddess, make the clear the whole board, and then activate Millennium Ankh, and they cannot interact with it, they cannot ash it. There's nothing that stops Millennium Ankh other than, of course, Caesar, right? So yeah, the Underworld Goddess is really great, and these just great removal cards to help bait Caesar and stuff like that, right? Which is really great. So these cards are just really good cards to have in your extra deck, and like you don't really care for these cards. You're just using your free bodies on the board to break your opponent's board, basically. So that's pretty much it for the extra deck, guys. I'm showing you guys my side deck and what I'm playing for the side right here. So like obviously you're playing 3 copies of Perulia in the side deck. You guys can go ahead and play this if you guys want. You guys don't have to. You guys can also play Fuvalos as well. These cards are just really good. You know, these does nothing against your deck, but against those combo heavy decks, like these cards against Yubel, it's just like really great. These cards against Snake Eyes, I think Perulia is better into Snake Eyes than Fuvaros. Then these cards are just like great overall cards to have. I feel like you guys must side them if you have access to them. If you don't have access to them, it's okay, but I feel like you have to at least side them. You know, like honestly, you don't even have to play them at all. You can just play other breakers than these, but these cards just like maxi, like you stop them like entirely, and they're just gonna end on Phantom Pass against your Exodia, which is like hilarious, right? So these cards are just like really insane into the meta right now. I think this card is really insane. 3 deck lockdown, bro. Like going first, setting up Secret Village or deck lockdown with your Exodias while having your Millennium cards on the board is ridiculous. Like deck lockdown is just so insane. Everything, like it just, I guess it stops your guys, but when you assemble places from the deck, so you can just summon them from the back row, it stops like Shield, Onk, Instinct Engine, but like this like locks down your opponents more than it'll lock you, like anyways, right? Because number one, you're not summoning from deck at all, you're summoning from spawn trap card zone, so deck lockdown is just absolutely insane, which is actually like really strong. Like I think this card is like really great going first alongside Secret Village as well, which is absolutely scary. And then obviously I'm playing breakers. I'm playing 3 evenly matched, and also 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More against those like really like heavy negate boards like Yubel. And these cards are just like really great here. So like you chummy them, and then chummy can draw into these cards, which is actually not that bad as well. So not only do you have chummy, like the reason why you like this deck is so good is that not only do you have chummy, you have also Perulia, and you also have D-Shifter. Like you have 9 of the most hated cards of the format, which is actually insane. So yeah, like these cards are just like so powerful. I feel like it's necessary to give you guys a little glimpse on what, you know, my thought process on some of my side deck choices. So guys, that's pretty much it for the main deck. I think this deck is absolutely perfect. Let me show you guys some refresher combos that you guys must know when it comes to playing you know, this deck right here. Ladies and gents, before we begin, guys, just a quick announcement. The Hero Collection 3.0 is dropping on November 8th, 2024. I haven't done a drop in quite a long time, and I've been working on this for quite some time now, and a lot of you guys have been asking me when Hero 3.0 is going to come out, so that's the date. Oh my god, it's fresh, ladies and gents. Look at that, guys. Absolute thing of beauty, ladies and gents. Hero Collection 3.0. Absolute beautiful deck box, very clean. Anybody that purchased this on November 8th, you guys can get a chance to win the 101 version of this. All right, so honestly, they both look great, but this is just a 101 version. So anybody that purchased one of these can have a chance to win this, and there's only one in the world. You know what I'm saying? I have it right now, but I'm gonna be signing this and also giving it out, you know, with a special box and everything. But yeah, so you know, this is a 101 version where it's all hollow, but this is what the regular version looks like, which is still badass. So let me just, you know, showcase you guys this. Look at this. And inside is holographic OG Hero, you know, 3.0s. Look at that. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. And, you know, you guys get a detachable dice tray here as well. And I made this design where it's like a bit more compact and a bit smaller, where you guys can just keep your main deck, side deck, you know, and stuff like that, other than, you know, the double deck boxes where it's kind of like chunky. I don't want deck boxes taking too much space, and double deck box I feel like it's a bit clunky now, so I decided to actually just go for like the single deck boxes with, like, you know, like the side deck trays and stuff like that, which is really good. So you guys check this one out. You guys also get a hero divider as well, which is actually insane with each deck box purchase. So guys, save the date, okay? November 8th, 2024 at 8 p.m. EST at tx1.com. Oh my goodness, I haven't said that in a while, and that felt amazing. All right, guys, welcome to the 1-card combo. So obviously, like, any of these guys are just like 1-card combos right here in the deck. It's just like very simple. Like everything just like everything is just like very simple with this deck for here. Like these are just like great 1-card starters that all lead to Millennium Ankh, which is absolutely insane. So like, whole like you have so many starters. Like Sengenjin gets you access to everything, gets you access to Shield, which is really nice. So I guess I can just show like the 1-card starters first. So you go like activate Heart of the Blue Eyes, send it to the graveyard, right here. Search your Millennium Ankh, and then you activate your Millennium Ankh. You reveal all 5 pieces of Exodia, you know, that's in your deck. Show it to your opponent, you know. Special summon, of course, Exodia right here. And then this is your end board right here. So, like, this is actually interruption as well, which is really insane. And then end phase, you activate its effect. Just to set Exodo Blaze of Fire. And that's pretty much it for the 1-card combo, right? It's just, like, very simple. And then, whenever your opponent summons a level 8 or higher monster, or 3,000 or more attack, you summon this. And it's just, like, just more beat sticks on the field, right? Which is actually, like, really nice. So like that's pretty much it for combo number 1, guys. And then all the combos will end on like this. Like this is how the combo's gonna work. It's gonna end on like this. Shield does the same thing. Shield 2000, summon itself out in defense. So if you open up with like 1 Blue Eyes, you know, like all these 1-card starters will end on something like this. Like you're always gonna end on with these two. All right. So the only way that they can interact is your Heart of the Blue Eyes, ashing this, and also ashing this. And if you have already Ankh in your hand, you just basically just win the duel from there on in. So that's pretty much it for just like a very, it's very easy to understand. Like very basic, very easy to understand. Let's go on to the next combo. Next combo was like opening up Sengenjin right here. This is actually really insane. So you can go actually activate Sengenjin in your hand, places here, especially in Sengenjin. You know, you search, of course, your Millennium Shield. You activate Shield in your hand, places here. You guys see, Perulia doesn't interact with your deck. Fuvolos doesn't activate your deck because look, this searches this places itself, this activates effect, summon itself to your side of the field, which is really good. So you know, you search now your Millennium Ankh right here, which is really strong. And then if I were you, I would use these 2 cards right here to just make right here. You make a Silhouette Rabbit, activate Rabbit. You search the Azure Rune right here, which is amazing. So you set it, and then you activate Millennium Ankh. You reveal all 5 pieces of Exodia that's in your deck. So reveal all 5 pieces. And then this will get shuffled back into your extra deck. And then you get to summon, of course, the Exodia right here. So this is just off just 1 card. 1 card gets you access to this and also this. Angel Statue, Azurune. And then at the end phase, you guys know what happens. Exod fires a Rage right here. So ladies and gents, 1 card gets you this access right here, which is 3 negates, by the way. This is like one negate off this. This, of course, destroys the whole board. This also, you know what I'm saying, negates, which is really strong as well. So yeah, this is literally just off 1 card. All right, guys, now for the last and final combo that you guys must know when it comes to playing this deck is like going second into boards. All right, so what can you do? So obviously, like if you open up these 2 cards, these 2 cards can actually help you play into boards. This can be any other monster, but you can actually go Sengenjin effect, place here, summon Sengenjin right here, activate this card's effect. You get to search for Wedju here. No, you search for Golem. Activate Golem, place itself here. And if you have like Millennium Ankh in your hand already, like it's amazing because you're not losing any life points when you're using these cards effect. Because instead of playing 2,000, you just reveal Millennium Ankh instead. But that's if you have this. Like if you have this in your hand already, you're just playing for just vibes. You're just playing for vibes, and then you're actually playing into breaking their board. So like you know, you go this, search Golem. Golem itself summon itself. Effect Golem. You add Wedju Temple directly from your deck to your hand. Now you activate Wedju Temple right here. And then you place Exodia, any of the Exodia pieces or any monster in your hand, place in the spawn trap card zone. And you basically put the shield right here. And then what you can do next is that you can activate Shield, summon, effect, search Ankh again, which is really strong. And then like literally 1 card is literally 3 bodies, guys. It's 3 bodies. Like Sengenjin is literally 3 bodies. And then you can use like now you're just playing for vibes. You can just use these 2 to get like what, like, you know, make Moon, like activate Moon, target their monsters. If they let it go through, you use Moon, this, and 2 of their monsters. All right, to make Goddess. Make Goddess right here. Right here, Goddess negates like your opponent's entire board, which is really insane. And then you can activate your Millennium Ankh right here. Shuffle this and show all 5 pieces of Exodia into the deck. Right here, this also gets shuffled as well into Exodia right here, which is actually really insane. And then, you know, you go battle phase attack depending on what your life is. They have 8,000. You can just attack this, which attack their monster, and then end phase you set, Exod, which is really strong. End phase you can set Exod, which is really nice. And if you already have Obliterate, this is already game right here as well, right? Which is really strong. So going second, this deck can actually break your opponent's boards, which is actually scary. So that's something, the combo that you guys must know. But this deck is actually really cookie cutter, really easy to understand. Like, just get access to Millennium Bank and then just try to summon Exodia and then just win. And backed up with a bunch of great non-engines in your deck, you can actually steal a lot of games with this deck right here. And the fact that this deck interacts so well with Fuvalos and Perulia makes this a very strong contender for the meta game. As you guys can see, top 32 YCS Negra list. Shouts to Olivar, for topping, the YCS with this deck. But yeah, this deck is just absolutely insane. Grandpa's deck definitely got stronger for sure. Post Rage of the Abyss. If you guys are looking for an anime deck, a deck that's actually meta viable, this is the deck for you. Hopefully you guys can learn something from this video. Grandpa's deck just got infinitely better. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna be playing local legends again with this deck right here. I'm gonna take this deck, and yeah, with the new Blue Eyes card, with Grandpa's new Blue Eyes, this deck is just so much better now. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And this is your boy Sam from Team Sam signing out. Let me know what other deck profiles you guys want to see in the comments below. All right, guys. Peace.